Today we're here in Knoxville, Tennessee, testing out the brand new 2009 SYM Symba. These things have been in the country now for about 10 days, and we were lucky enough to be one of the first people in America to ride one of the production models. We're going to take it around here the streets as we usually do, test her out, see what we like about it, see what we dislike about it, and report back to you guys. SYM Symba is based off the Honda Super Cub, the most produced motorcycle ever made. I think it's somewhere around 60 or 70 million Super Cubs were built. And actually, SYM has been building Honda Super Cub for them for the past number of decades, a long time. So they know about the Super Cub, and it translates well in this model. On the road, the bike was really fun to ride. It was very, very stable when compared to the original Super Cub, so SYM's come a long way with their chassis design, and also when compared to a 10 or 12 inch scooter, it's a lot more stable in the corners than one of those would be. Also, the clutch was very, very smooth. Obviously there's no manual clutch here, it's an auto clutch inside the engine, so all you have to do is switch the gears and it automatically engages and disengages the clutch. It was very smooth, easy to shift through, and overall I didn't have to think about it, which means that it was working really well. Brakes wise, this bike is really, really good. I know a lot of people, when they look at a bike like this and see that it's got drums on both ends, they're automatically going to assume that the stopping power is not going to be that good. But in this case, the drums work really, really well. I would even say that, you know, the chassis is really good, the brakes are really good. The only limiting thing to this bike is the engine at this point. You could easily throw in a 150cc engine, and I think the chassis and brakes can handle it. As accessories are concerned, the bike has a lot of options. First and foremost, the number one option that a lot of people are going to consider is the two-person banana seat. Basically, you can remove this cargo rack here and the solo seat to put on a two-person seat to make it seem more like the US spec Passports and Super Cubs of the 60s. Powering the Symba is SYM's version of the Honda horizontal motor. It's a 100cc air-cooled with auto clutch. It's got a 4-speed gearbox, and it's cool because really all you have to do is worry about shifting. It's about the easiest shifting bike you can get. It's much easier to ride than a Stella would be, or a vintage Vespa or something like that, because there's no clutch to worry about. It's got also an added update of electric start. Of course, the electronics are going to be a lot better than the original Super Cub because they've been updated to 12 volt and I believe no LEDs, but regardless, it should be a lot more reliable. In closing, the Symba has got to be 2009's most hyped scooter, and you know, the question I asked myself as I drove down to pick it up this morning, is it going to live up to the hype? It definitely lives up to the hype. The quality is there, the design is there, the reliability is there, the looks are there. SYM took the essence of the original Super Cub, which I'm very familiar with, improved it to a point where it's still recognizable as the original inspiration, but at the same time, you know, it's leaps and bounds ahead of what it came inspired from. Its brakes are better, it's got more power, the clutch is better, and overall it's going to last you just as long as the original Super Cub does, if not longer. I'm Ryan Carden with ScooterNews.com, and this has been a test drive of the 2009 SYM Symba.